Congratulations on your brand new Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport Touring. In this video, I'll show you guys how to customize all of your vehicle settings so when you drive off the lot, you are set for success. First step, you need the keys with you. The vehicle has to be on and running. The vehicle has to be in park. If the vehicle's not in park, you cannot select the vehicle settings, okay? So let's select the vehicle settings. You'll probably notice we have driver 1 or driver 2. Now to switch between driver 1 or driver 2, you'll look on the back of your key fob. Right now we have driver 1. If you want to switch to driver 2, this is the part that you'll grab driver 2 key fob. Make sure driver 1 key is not in the vehicle or close to the vehicle. Okay? Put it away inside. Now, from there, we're going to turn off the vehicle. Lock the door on the fob, and then hit unlock on the fob. Get into the vehicle. You'll see it says driver 2. That's the indicator to switch between driver 1 and driver 2 by hitting lock and unlock on that particular fob, okay? Now, it will not save all the settings, but majority of the settings, it will save it to that particular driver. Keep that in mind. Now, what we're going to do from here, we're going to start from the top and work our way down to the bottom. First one's going to be tire pressure calibration. So it won't tell you which tire is low or where it's at, but it'll warn you. Once you verify it's good or make the correct adjustments, you just hit calibrate, bang, done. Now, next one's going to be a driver's assist system setup. This is where you can customize all of your Honda sensing features. You want all the beeps, none of the beeps, the sensitivity, stuff like that. First one's going to be a forward collision warning distance. Right now it's set to normal. But when you select it, it gives you a summary and then the options, okay? So you don't have to memorize everything. The car would tell you what you're playing around with. Now, you want to change the distance between short, normal, and long. When you're driving down the road, it senses it's going to hit an object in front of you. It warns you to brake on your driver's interface screen. It's going to give you that visual and audible alert. Normal is fine. I select that, and then I'll hit the back button right up there. Next one is going to be your ACC. That's for Adaptive Cruise Control Forward Vehicle Detection Beep. You can hit this to turn it on and off if you already know from the get-go, but let's select it for the summary for those that don't know. When you're using your Adaptive Cruise Control, you set your cruise control, then you can set the distance between you and the car in front of you. So let's say we're going 45, the car in front of you is going 40. The car gets in the range to slow you down to maintain that distance at 40 miles an hour. It's going to give you an audible beep, 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 beep. And once that car gets out of the way and it resumes back from 40 to 45, you set cruise control. It's going to give you a little beep, 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 beep to let you know, hey, I'm speeding back up to your cruise control. That's great when you sit in the front seat, having a conversation, not paying attention. You feel that car is speeding up, slowing down. Just a reminder. Next one's going to be a road departure. Right there, you can change the sensitivity of this thing, keep you in the center of your lane, or when you go off the road, you have it narrow, normal, wide, or maybe you don't want it to bring you back. You don't want it to have as a warning only. Just warn you, hey, you're going to have your lane. I'm not going to put you back in the center of your lane. Next one's going to be a lane keeping assist suspense beep. So when you have your lane keep assist or maybe a traffic jam assist, you go out of your lane a little bit, beep, 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 beep. Then it brings you right back and puts you back in the center of your lane from there. So this is just the audible. I like the audible. You may not from that point. Let's get that thing to stay focused. All right, next one's going to be your, go down a list, blind spot information system. So as you probably notice on your side mirror, you have a little indicator with like 2 cars, little wavelengths. So when you're driving down the road at least 20 miles or 25 miles an hour faster, your turning indicator is on and someone's in your blind spot, it flashes and beeps at you. If someone's in your blind spot without your turning indicator on, it's not going to beep at you. It's just going to have a solid orange light as a visual for you, okay? I have an old video showing you that in action so you can visually see the difference if this is your first time playing around with it. Check it out. I'll have the link down below in the video description to help you guys out. Now, next one's going to be a traffic sign. I love it. When you're driving down the road, they're going to have this camera right up here on the windshield behind the rear view mirror. And it's going to find the speed limit sign. They'll display it on your driver's interface screen. It's not perfect, but it does a really good job, especially if you're somewhere new. It helps you. Now, you can have a warning threshold on this. I know your first instinct is, Christopher, I don't want it to warn me when I'm speeding. Well, maybe it could be a lifesaver, you know. Let's say you have it on. You're going, if I see a speed limit sign that says 30, and it warns you when you're speeding, you can have it to warn you at the next option. As you notice, That's not there, a hidden thing. Boom, comes right up, speed limit warning threshold. You can have it to warn you at the speed limit, 3, 5, or 10 above the speed limit, okay? So you pick your poison, don't tell, and I won't tell. Next one is going to be driver's attention monitor system. So the car knows the difference between you doing a bad job at driving or maybe the wind blowing you guys around from that point. But I'm assuming though, you probably want the car to do everything in its power to alert you when you're doing a bad job at driving, right? Like pull over, get a coffee break, take a power nap, bam. That's the setting you want. We just select. Next one's going to be your rear sensors or your parking sensors. You're probably wondering, why would I want to turn this off? Well, if you have your bike rack in the back or you have a small hitch back there, something that's kind of blocking your parking sensors, A, they're going to consistently go off. And then B, we are going to have the low speed braking control. So low speed braking control is when you're backing up as backing up in the parking lot at low speeds. And it senses you're going to hit an object, it's going to stop the car before you're doing it. So if you have a bike rack back there blocking it, you may want to turn this off. You cannot use your parking sensors in low speed braking control because that's in the way. Now that's everything underneath that. We're going to hit the back button. Now we're going to go to meter setup. Outside temperature gauge. Boom, you can fine tune this bad boy within a 5-degree swing right there. It's only in Fahrenheit for the US models, okay? Next one's going to be trip A and trip B. They're going to be exactly the same thing. When do you want these to automatically reset, or do you just want to keep it manually and you do it yourself? My walk around video will show you guys how to manually reset that. I'll have a video description I have a video link down below in the video description, okay? Adjusted alarm volume. How loud do you want your alarm volume? Maybe your buzzers, warnings, turning indicators so much to be how loud or quiet for those to be. We'll come down to your fuel efficiency backlight. You're probably noticing as you're driving down the road, you get a little green light on your driver's interface screen to let you know, good job, you're being fuel efficient, And then when you're not, it's gone. It's just a visual coach to help you level up your fuel efficiency game. Turn by turn on auto display. Love it. Why wouldn't you want a nice little heads up at 100 feet, turn left or right, right? Rear seat reminder. So this is simple on or off. So let's imagine you open up the rear door, maybe after the vehicle started or maybe 10 minutes before you start the vehicle. Boom, threw something back there. Someone jumped in there. We arrived here to get our first oil change here at Randy Kill Honda. And you turn off the car. You'll get this little indicator right there to say, hey, check your rear seat. Make sure you don't forget your cargo, maybe those young whippersnappers in the back. If you don't like that rear seat reminder for any particular reason, just turn it off by a click of a button. Speed distance. This is where you go. Kilometers, miles. We'll keep it on miles. Now that's everything under meter setup. Now the next one is going to be driving position setup, memory link. So your key fob, driver 1 and driver 2, once again, is going to have 2-seat memory. So you can set your seat up. I'll show you this in the walk around video. Then you hit, once you get your seat the way you want, you simply hit set on the driver's side door, then hold the number you want to save it to, okay? Next one's going to be your seat position on movement on entry or exit. So you can see that right there. So simply if this is on, I turn off the car, I open up the door, the seat will move back. I jump into the vehicle, I turn it on, the seat will move up a little, okay? So it makes it a little easier to get in and out of. Next one's going to be keyless access setup, door unlock mode. So this is when you walk up, you got the key fob in your pocket, your purse, your jacket just on you, you put your hand in the handle. Do you want all doors to unlock or just the driver's side door? So a lot of these are going to be lifestyle questions. If I have kids, they're always yanking on door handles. I can see that you're doing all doors. If it's just you alone and it doesn't matter, you'll probably use driver door only. Keyless access flash right here. So when you grab the handle and the doors unlock, you probably want a little light action to let you know it's unlocked, right? You also get a little beep. So I can see my 10-year-old right now, Cameron, that little crazy guy. He loves yanking on door handles. It doesn't matter if it's locked or not, but he's over the yanking on it. I'm training him to say, hey, if the car's light flash, the car beeps, the door is unlocked. Now yank on the door handle. So get a little bit of visuals and audibles to help those kids out. Remote start, keep it available at all times. I walk over the remote start feature within my walk around video. You guys already know the links down below in the description, okay? But that's a simple on or off. All right, so the next one down below is going to be a lockout prevention. So this will actually help prevent you from accidentally locking keys in the car. So let's say this bad boy's in your purse, maybe a jacket, a gym bag, and you left it in the vehicle on accident because you have the walkaway auto lock feature, and maybe it's buried in there and the car cannot sense where the key fob's at. It's in panic mode, like, because it's buried. It cannot find the radio wave, right? Because it's being blocked. It's going to come up with 15 seconds. It's going to come up with a sound effect. It goes do 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 or boop 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 boop, some kind of funny noise that you probably never heard before. It's saying, "Hey, I cannot find your key. You got 15 seconds to open up a door before I automatically relock your key in the car." But you got a nice little description right there. Read that. I love to keep it on. Is what I would encourage. Okay. Now we hit the back button. We go to light setup. Auto high beams, quick and easy. If your headlights are set to auto and then it does not sense any lights coming at you or street lights or anything, high beams automatically come on. Automatically turn off, it does sense those items, okay? Interior light dimming time. This is when you turn off the car, you shut the door in X amount of time, your interior lights will turn off. Auto headlight timer. I can see you changing this. If you get to work late, home late at night, not a well-lit area, maybe you need a little more extra time, like 60 seconds, turn off the car, shut the door, it's locked, you walk up, get inside, it gives you 30 seconds of time before these lights turn off, give a little more visibility. But that, once again, if your headlights are set to auto, okay? Auto light sensitivity. Headlights, how soon do you want them to come on or off when they're set to auto? You want them super sensitive, maybe not as sensitive between your day and nighttime levels, or when to turn on and off between day and nighttime levels. Now we got rain sensing wipers, okay? Auto wipers. Now with this feature, just letting you know, you have auto headlights too as well. As we've also been talking about, when your headlights are set to auto and your wipers come on, or your auto rain sensing wipers come on, do you want your headlights to automatically come on? Okay. So driving down the road, it rains, boom, wipers come on, boom, headlights come right on. Stops raining, doesn't need them, it's clear as day, and it turns off your headlights, keeps your daytime running lights on. So yep, I like it on. Let's do it. Next one's gonna be door and window setup. Auto door locked. When do you want your car doors to lock? With speed, when you shift from park, or have it off just whenever you select it. Next one's going to be auto door unlock, okay? So you arrive to wherever you're going. When do you want your doors unlocked? I like the first one. A lot of times I drive alone, so it's not a big issue, but occasionally I take the kids with me, or maybe the wife. So let's say I got the whole gang with me, right? Me, the wife, the 3 kids, they're sitting back there. It happens. They cannot open up a back door, but I can open up the front door. My wife can open up her door. As soon as either of these 2 front doors open, bang, the rear doors automatically unlock with this setting. I like that. Now, you can do shift from park. Maybe you can, when you turn off the vehicle, it's good enough for you too as well, okay? There's no wrong answer. Walk away auto lock feature. So this is simply when you have this on, turn off the car, have the key fob with you, shut the door, no key left in the car. You get 5-10 feet away, bang, it locks all the doors. You never have to second guess yourself. Did I lock my car door? Did I not? Those days of second guessing is over. Now, if you want to lock a key fob in the car, I have a separate video that will show you how to do that. So if you're out there on the water, boating, fishing, kayaking, whatever the case might be, is you're afraid you're going to damage this fob or lose this fob, I have the video. Check that out, okay? Now we have keyless lock, answer back. Simply, when you hit lock, do you want it, or when you hit unlock by the remote, do you want the lights to flash at you? Yeah, we like lights flashing. Visuals are nice. Now, we're also going to have the keyless remote power window control. As you can see right there on the key fob, now on the key fob with the key fob in that photo, is that if you double tap and hold unlock for a few seconds, the longer you hold it down, the further down the windows will roll down and the moonroof will open. So those hot summer days, it get a little more cooler. Let's say the car sits out there, get whaled down for a couple hours, you're done with the baseball game, you want to let air out before you get into the car, that's when you use it. But I've seen too many times that people may have massive thumbs, or they double tap and hold just long enough for the window to crack open, allow rain, giant bugs in, stuff like that. Okay. Next one is going to be lock presetting. So this is great for those that do not use the walk away auto lock feature. Now with this one, let's say I'm done, I turn off the car, I get out, I shut the door, the driver door, but one of these other 3 doors are open. Like with my older Honda, I can hit the lock button, but nothing will happen until all doors are shut. With this one, I can just hit the lock button after my door is shut, preset the lock, so once the other doors are shut, boom, everything's locked right up. Keep it on, why not? Now we got power tailgate, keyless open mode. So pretty much you want to keep it from that point pretty quick and easy. You can just have it, you can use the keyless remote at any time. So that means when the door's locked or unlocked, or maybe you want to set it up that you have to hit unlock first, or make sure the vehicle's unlocked first, and then you can use the power tailgate. So if you're ever worried about you're going to accidentally hit the little button on the fob and opens up your tailgate, you can switch that to only open when the car's unlocked. Okay. So the little button on the hatch, do you want to keep it as a powered lift gate, or do you want to switch it to a manual lift gate? Keyless access, hands-free access function. This is when you go out there and you do a little kick motion underneath the bumper. If you do it correctly, the car can be on or off. The key fob has to be with you. When you're back there, do the kick motion, it opens and closes that tailgate. Would you like that on or off? Climate control, quick and easy. Gives a nice little summary. Majority of people keep these on. In the visual settings, your owner's manual will go more in detail on these for you guys. Or maybe later on a different date, I'll have a video. If I do, I'll put it down in the description of this video, okay? Maintenance. And this is all based on algorithms, your driving habits, okay? This is a good fail-safe light. So when you're driving throughout time, it's going to give you a maintenance minder. When your oil life is down to 15%, which varies, some people will be 5,000, next person could be 10,000 miles. It's all based on algorithms, okay? But when you get down to 15% or less, it's going to give you a warning on your driver's interface screen. You see codes A, B, 1, through 7, things like that. I have a separate video that's going to help you guys with that, more detail, what each of those codes mean. So check that out. All right. Now that's everything underneath vehicle settings for you guys. Once again, congratulations on your brand new Honda CR-V Sport Touring Hybrid. We'll see you guys at the next video.